my oven start zapping and sparkling and that kind of stuff. If you don't know what that looks like, it looks like this.
In the fall of 2021, our family moved to Eastern Tennessee to get a fresh start after COVID. We moved here with the dream of making this area our permanent home. After buying a 70-year-old house, we started a channel, The Gospel of Eve. The purpose of the channel is to show that anyone can rebuild their life with a bit of patience, some elbow grease, and lots of love from your family. Follow us by subscribing as we realize our dream by renovating our new 1952 home together.
There are 2 screws. So you remove the screws and it becomes loose, but in the back it comes out to 2 little prongs right here that literally pull out. So if you pull them out and release the screws, it comes off. You put the next one in, put the screws on, and then button this up. And it's one here and one here in mine. Sometimes some of the newer ones, the 2 elements are going to be a lot closer. They're going to be in the middle, but you can come out to the back and remove them. And that was the easy part. The difficult part was that I turned it on and it didn't work afterwards. And I thought that was a little bit weird. So I started looking around on YouTube and I found out how to test for continuity within your element, which essentially your element is very much like a light bulb. So you have electricity going on both sides, in the middle, and I don't know if you ever did that as a kid, but I used to do it and it's not smart. I would put 2, you know, when you put the 9-volt battery and sometimes you would stick it on your tongue and you get that little zappy feeling on there, is because the 2 sides met together and then it heated up. Essentially, there are some differences, alternating current versus direct, but essentially it's the same thing. And so that's what happened with mine, and that's what happens with elements. So you check with continuity, and if you do have a voltmeter, you put it at the ohm, the one that has a symbol like that, and you go down. You should be expecting around 20 something ohms of resistance, and the resistance never came. Like it would show 0 because it was disconnected. It was it showed OL, so I put it on the new one and it showed 23.1, which is about where it's supposed to be, but it was still not coming on. So then I followed the wiring all the way to the top, and I found out that one of my wires was that striped red and the other one was the yellow, and there were only 2 of them, that the only ones that matched. I traced them. One comes up to here and the other one comes up to here, and after tracing them, I figured out number one, that the wires were still good. They were not burned out or anything like that, and all things were still pushed together the way they were supposed to. So I figured out it must be my board, which I ended up removing. This is my board, and it actually looks more like this, but that's essentially a sticker, a thick one. And this is the piece. It looks kind of like this, and all those little plugs go to the back of this. So something is messed up in it. The upper element and the stove top work just fine, but obviously the bottom one doesn't. Now, I don't have enough tools and maybe enough knowledge to check each one of these to see if one of them is not good. But usually when they're not good, they're popped off or blown up. These can be expanded, like lifted up. And I don't know enough of this to mess with, but I have a feeling it's one of these. That I think those are relays and they're stuck, maybe stuck or something. And everybody essentially was saying, yeah, you need to get a new one. The problem was I was debating whether it would be worth buying a new one, because that was a used oven that we got from a Scratch and Dent, and I really like it. And we bought it maybe for $300, and it came with a 1-year warranty, but we've had it now for like 4 years, I think. And so that's what happened, and it has been working great. Of course, everything does until it breaks. Anyway, so we looked into it. I looked into it to see how much it would cost to get the board, because I already paid around $70 something to buy the Element, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend a little bit more money on it or a lot more money. And I started seeing it at 140, 150, and I was thinking that's not good. It's almost the price of the used one. Maybe I could go to the Scratch and then find another one. But I like how this goes slightly over the counter whenever you slide it in, so you don't have that gap where trash keeps falling between your oven and the counter. And I know you can buy little strips to block that, but I think they don't look really good. Anyway, so I like the way it was, and I found another one that was at $200 and another one $225, and it was getting worse. Finally, I was able to find it. But here's the interesting thing: it showed up. I used this model number that says Maytag W10343470, and it came up as a Whirlpool oven, but it matched the numbers, and I looked at it and it matched the looks, I guess, of it, down to every single detail that I could tell, at least on the picture. And so my best guess is that several of these companies do use the same what do you call it, components. So anyway, that's what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead. I went ahead and ordered it, and it was $65, which is a lot better. I'm gonna reinstall this until the new part comes, because I can still use the oven and everything, so I have to reassemble this really quickly, but it should work until the other one comes in, and hopefully the other one fixes the problem. Otherwise, you know, I have spent, well, between the two components and shipping and taxes, I've spent about $150 now. Days later, got a haircut and shaved, and also I ended up getting the new board for the oven. It looks exactly the same, but as you can see, it actually is heating. This is the second time I've turned it on, one time to cook. The one problem that I was running though on the other day was that I put it to 425. and it wasn't quite reaching that, so I'm gonna have to check it again. But it did go up to 410, which was good enough for what we're cooking. But again, I'll have to check it out. But it works. Thank you for sticking with me this week. Please like and subscribe, and tune in for the next one.